What's good, everybody out there on YouTube? This is your man Shadicstick dropping some hot frog on this mic. Today we're going to be talking about the Sonic Colors Remaster, or the possible Sonic Colors Remaster. And I wanted to wait till some things died down and maybe, you know, some new information has come out, but not much has come out. This is being broken basically by people tweeting at Sonic tubers and some people even knowing ahead of time that this existed, but without any real proof, so they couldn't speak on it. But this broke mostly from people going to this website called Example. It's a German dubbing company, and one of the games that they say, or one of the things that they say they're going to be dubbing in German is Sonic Colors Remastered. Now, if you don't know, Sonic didn't get, redubbed outside of, having an English dub and a Japanese dub before Sonic Generations. Generations was the first time Sonic really was in a different language in the games, through and through. And from then forward, we got Sonic dubbed into other languages. By the way, my sources will be in the description, most notably a link to Premier de Remy's video and Speed Supersonic's video, because the website itself is down, so I needed to get screenshots and stuff and actually get all the information that I could. But based off of this tweet that was tweeted at Premier de Remy by Twitter user Blemviz, we can see in this list of games that Example has on the site that Sonic Colors Remaster is near the top of the list. According to the German dubbing studio for Sonic games, they listed Sonic Colors Remastered as their current project. All Sonic games till Generations did get a German dub, so it's very likely that Sega is planning a remaster of Colors with new dubs. And this was found by Kutairo. This is followed up with another tweet by Blemviz that says, also, don't get confused that it says 2020. Sonic games are always getting many months dubbed before they get released. Forces, for example, got released in November 2017 and they fully dubbed the game before June 2017. And there's a link to another tweet that says the original Sonic Colors on Wii only got an English and Japanese dub. Sega started dubbing Sonic in different languages with Sonic Generations, from Kutairo, the person who originally found this. On top of that, there's some information that comes specifically from Speed Supersonic, in which on the website you can see in the portfolio there is Sonic Generations. So whether this is because they've dubbed Sonic Generations in the past, or because this is a part of a collection, we may never know. So how do I feel about this? Well, I saw this coming. Sonic Colors is a decade old now, and many of the Sonic games from around the time are getting up there in age. Sonic Unleashed is about 13 years old, Sonic Generations 9 years old, Sonic Lost World about 7 or 8 years old. I mean, in all honesty, I would be surprised if they didn't do this, or that it hadn't been planned at some point in time. And I honestly feel like it can't be a better time, because right now the Sonic community is in one of its waves of choosing which games are no longer good and which games are now, masterpieces, specifically with Sonic Unleashed. And I know because we have echo chambers on Twitter and people's individual YouTube channels, and there's this new notion that people don't like Sonic Colors despite it being the highest rated boost game in the series and being generally well loved, especially around the years of its launch, well up into even past Sonic Lost World, and really only now being hated for things that weren't an issue at the time, despite the game not really aging at all, outside of maybe, resolution because it was a Wii title. But I feel like this will introduce these games specifically to a new audience, because we haven't seen them in 2 generations. I mean, when you think about it, you can only play Sonic Unleashed in Generations through backwards compatibility on the Xbox Series consoles, and Nintendo and Sony don't have any way to really play any of these games from back then on their current hardware. Yes, Sony has PS Now, but it's not a substitute for playing it on the actual hardware. It's streamed. On top of that, I believe this is going to be part of a collection, and what I think Sonic Team will do is they'll sell each game individually at maybe like 15 to 20 bucks, maybe even upwards of 30, depending on which game it is. Most likely Colors, and I think would be and Unleashed would probably be 30 if anything, and Generations and Lost World may be cheaper because they're on PC currently. Should they not do much to really, I guess, increase the graphical fidelity of the game outside of, maybe frame rate tweaks and having access to better resolution. But I think essentially what's going to happen is they're going to sell each game individually for probably around 20 bucks, and then sell all the games in one pack for about, 40 or 50 bucks. The reason I say this is because right now I think the biggest audience for Sonic is currently on the Nintendo Switch, because Sonic's been selling crazy on Nintendo platforms as of recent. If I'm wrong, correct me. And many other game developers and studios have been taking this approach on the Nintendo Switch. Most notable of those is Capcom, who would release games like Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 3 and 4, and they would re-release these games on the Nintendo Switch, but instead of releasing them in their relative packs, they'd release them individually, digitally, and then eventually come out with, you know, maybe a dual pack or a triple pack, physically and digitally, that you could buy for a discounted price should you want both games, which I think is a smart business move. It essentially nets you the most cash. I also think that these games just deserve it overall, because while I have my thoughts about Unleashed, considering most of the game is not fun, I think it has a lot of redeeming qualities that people like about it. And then again, Sonic Colors, especially after playing it recently to get some of this gameplay for this video specifically, I realized how much of a, I guess, masterclass in platformer level design and replayability that game is. And then Sonic Generations is really just peak 3D Sonic, I'ma be honest. Even though it's not my favorite 3D Sonic game, that goes to Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Generations showed Sonic Team's ability to essentially take every single thing that they've done with the Sonic franchise and essentially perfect it. And while Lost World is a mixed bag in terms of its reception, I think it's a pretty decent game, and that there's a lot of fun to be had with that game specifically. Not the greatest, and I didn't like the forced use of Wisp in that game specifically, because it was nowhere near the same level as Sonic Colors, where Sonic Colors felt like this was a genuine innovation, and that was actually the future of the franchise. In Sonic Lost World, it felt more like they tacked it on because they had it in a previous game that many people liked, and that game also sold extremely well. On top of that, considering these games are relatively old and all of the platforms at this point could run all of these games perfectly fine, I think it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that we could see these games re-released. I think the game that probably will have the most work done to it, or the games that have the most work done to them, again, would be Unleashed and Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors because it's a Wii game and there's a lot more stuff that they have to do to bring it up to the standards of today, specifically with texture work and maybe even the lighting. And Unleashed because it has the same thing, and on top of that, I feel like they're going to do things like optimizing character models, because that was one of that game's biggest issues. Sometimes there was just too much detail that nobody would see. And while yes, they went over the top and went out of their way to make the models look amazing, from Sonic Unleashed to Sonic Generations, if you put the model in front of someone's face, because if I remember correctly, it is technically the same model just with a lower poly count, no one would actually notice. And even then, some of the things in Unleashed didn't age super well. Not to say that it looks bad, I think it looks good, especially for the time, but going back and playing Sonic Generations, I think from an art direction, an optimization standpoint, and even sometimes at a graphical level, it does look better than Unleashed. Unleashed looks like a really good 2008 game, whereas Sonic Generations looks like a really good game from 2012 or 2011, if you catch my drift. I don't know. Tell me how you feel about all this in that comment section down below. How do you feel about some of my thoughts on this? How do you feel about the information as a whole? Where do you see this stuff going for the Sonic franchise? And do you think we're going to get something else out of this, considering that it is the franchise's 30th anniversary? Usually game developers do really big things for this, and it seems like Sega had big plans last year and we're expecting to be able to release information on a monthly basis, but COVID took such a hit on them that they weren't able to do that. But hey guys, this has been your man Shadicstick. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video out with your friends, and make sure you check the description. You have a Shadicstick live coming out on the same day this releases, so set your reminders. This is me, your man Shadicstick. I'm out of here. Peace. Kiss, kiss.